Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Evening for Mr. Matty Gunner over there. Welcome to Schmoe Me the Money, another Book of Boba Fett discussion. We have Boba Fett actually joining us today. As you can see in the bottom left corner, that is Boba Fett. That is not Matt Thomas. That is Boba Fett. So
it's
Boba,
Matty Morrison.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
You look dumb, Matt. Take it off.
It gets too hot under there too quick. Holy fuck.
That's what she said.
Welcome, everyone, here. Before we get started, don't forget, we do have Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/schmoemethemoney. If you feel being
Who gives a shit?
generous and you want to donate and tell us to literally shut
This ain't the show for
you
that.
can.
This ain't the show.
Nope.
Who gives a shit? Anyways,
this was a great episode. I love this episode. There was, it's not like I didn't like last week. I just didn't hate it. Like, I thought it was a great start. I think it was Matty, you tweeted it or something, like you basically said it's a book. This is just chapter 1.
The only thing I put was I like it.
Yeah, I think I'm part of that small crowd that actually loved last week's first episode because it didn't give me too much. It gave me exactly what I needed from the first episode, exactly what I wanted from the first episode, and then just a little bit pinch more. And this week only expanded on that, which was just great to have.
Yeah. I like how they basically split the episode in two. Like, instead of jumping back and forth between past and present, it was pretty much the first half was basically all present day stuff.
I disagree. They did. Here's 1/4 of the episode, and the entire 3/4 is all past.
What I was saying is they didn't jump back and forth between present and past. Like it literally, like they told the story of the present day, and then we kind of got, like you said, 3/4 of the episode was in the past.
Well, last week it made sense because last week he gets attacked and he has to go back into the Bacta tank. It seems like when we're going into the past is when he's entering the Bacta tank for the most part. So
it also feels like it's just the general structure of the season in which it's going to be split of moving the story forward while also taking a look back to figure out where we got, how we got here, like telling that gap, that 5-year gap between 5 years or so between Return of the Jedi and Mandalorian season 2. I mean, I liked it. I liked last week's episode. To me, it was all set up. It's all kind of just establishing pieces, separating itself from Mando, trying to add its own tone while still sort of being of a piece of the world. And then comes this week where it was this big, great train robbery thing, and then the opening, and it did feel a little lopsided, I think, the structure this week, where they only did like an opening in the current story, and then they just filled this whole thing in the back. It felt like I said, I enjoyed it. I was entertained by it. I also felt like they stayed too long in it. Maybe they should have gone back and forth a bit or something, but it was like, oh, opener, present day, as in present, like in the timeline of the story. And then the majority is just flashback. But last week it was kind of going back and forth a bit. I would have preferred it to have been a little more back and forth or something to kind of break it up, only because I only am so interested in these lengthy things that happen. Like, I get it. He ended up like they wanted to do this big action set piece. I was less interested in the action set piece than I was in what they're doing to develop Boba Fett. It was weird. Like, it was all done well, but I don't know. I didn't find myself caring that much about that. I don't know. I overall I'm liking it so far. I'm not loving it the way that I was like really digging Mandalorian. But I also know it's not the same thing, and it's going to take time. This is more of a slow burn, and that's fine too. I think it's just that 2 episodes in,
Out of
and I'm
7.
not as locked in as I wanted to be with only 5 episodes left, if that makes sense. That's not to say it's a disappointment. It's a different show, but in terms of an expectation of how much I wanted to like it versus how much I feel.
I'll say this because Thomas Harper and I were talking about this earlier. There's 3 sects of people when it comes to this. There's people who are like me and Matty, who we're like, yes, just keep giving it to me, keep giving it, because even though Boba Fett only was in 6 minutes of the original trilogy, we want to know more and all that. So we're here for anything you give, and as long as it fits into canon and we're happy. There are sects where it's people who are like, oh, this is a fine Star Wars show. It's just not for me. And there are sects of people who just don't like the show.
Are you saying sects or sex? Because
SEC, so like sections. Basically, he's
SECTS.
Yeah, SECT. All right, I just want to make sure because you're definitely sounding like you're saying sex, and I
got phlegm and whatnot, so my nostrils.
Yeah,
I understand. Everyone's got that Omarion right now.
Not me.
I haven't got it. One of the silliest things that I've seen, and I normally don't like addressing trollish stuff, but one of the silliest things I've seen on the internet today is a lot of people saying how there's no character development in this show, and I'm like, are we watching the same show here? Because like, to me, this whole show is centered around identity. Like, this is him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
becoming who we know him to be now, not who we thought him to be in the past. And I think that's part of people's issue.
Feels like it's not just how we know him now. Okay, what you said. I know I'm interrupting there, Matty, and it's all building off of your point though. There, I like your username that you added in there, by the way, the Fat and the Furious. Think about it. Matt, you mentioned it. We only had 6 minutes of screen time in the original trilogy, and everyone talked about how fucking badass and awesome Boba was. And then you got to reminded, no, man, he got like kicked, and then he just fell into the Sarlacc.
He got hit with a blind man.
He literally just stands around and then gets his jetpack or hit by an axe wielded by a blind man.
In the original canon, until this point, he just stood around and then died. Like, and it was that he looked cool. That's what everyone thought about.
And was an annoying little kid. Let's.
And like Matt, you'll know, like even in the EU stuff in the comics, like he's not that much of a badass. Look at the War of Bounty Hunters. Like he loses Han Solo.
This whole thing here is literally just. It almost feels, and I don't, and I might say it in a way that sounds a little cynical, a little negative. It's not necessarily that. They are trying to do an exploration of Boba Fett as the character that everyone wanted him to be. When he showed up in Mandalorian, he ended up he immediately kicked ass, and everyone thought it was so awesome and whatnot. And we're like, we've never seen him do that before. So of course, we're like, well, why has he never been that awesome before? And now they're showing this here. He wasn't that awesome at first. Like, he fought that big thing, but he couldn't fight normally. He couldn't fight with a stick against a Tusken Raider. He couldn't do any of that. So they're showing him developing into a warrior, which means that before that point, he was just a guy in
armor. He was just a guy in armor.
And now they're trying to actually make him be the badass that everyone wanted him to be.
I mean,
which is cool. On the other hand, it's like, hey, this show feels almost like a product of nostalgia to what's the word I'm looking for? It's to validate the kind of nostalgia people feel for Boba Fett that wasn't there.
And sorry, Matt, speaking on the character development, I have to shout out Joseph Scrimshaw for being the absolute genius that he is. I was listening to Force Center the other day, and he said, if you notice that the 3 Tusken Raiders that he's
Hell yeah,
dude. He did.
Yeah.
The 3 Tusken Raiders that Boba Fett speaks to are the child, the warrior, and the leader.
Mm-hmm.
And if we look at this show, he's progressing from, we see him as a child on Camino. He's the warrior now, and he wants to become the leader. When he said that, I was like,
well, and that's the thing. I don't know.
What a nerd. I'll
add to that real quick before I jump back to what I want to talk about with Boba and
do it.
I don't think we'll continue on with flashbacks past the third or fourth episode. I really don't.
I would hope not. Like it. On the one hand, I could see the whole season being structured that way but at the same time, I don't want it to.
I don't think it will, and I think the crew behind it is smart enough to, and that's why we got such a flashback heavy episode. And I think ultimately, last episode you had him with the child. This episode you had him as a warrior. Adding to what Matty just said, next episode makes sense. You get the leader, and then those last four are strictly maybe figures from his past and whatnot, and just
but at the same time, like, think about the timeline. There's like still close to 5 years of stuff happening. He's not just hanging out with Tusken Raiders for 5 years.
We don't know that. We don't know that because where's the first place we see him when he's reintroduced to Mandalorian? Tatooine.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just mean to say, like, just hanging out and just gearing up to be a train robber, I don't think it takes 5 years.
Well, I don't think it takes 5 years, but we don't know what the time jump is in between these episodes with the Raiders. It could be several months later. You know what I mean? It's not like
and time works different on Tatooine.
Exactly. So there's a lot that can be going on right here, and that the time passes off screen. And that's how it is. But what I wanted to get to in regards to canon is adding to the fact that Boba Fett isn't a badass. Matty can attest to this. You look at him in the Clone Wars animated series. Kid's a screw up. Like screws up all the time. You look at even the canon comics when Marvel started taking over back in 2015. Right around Empire Strikes Back. Right before Empire Strikes Back, they introduce him. He actually, the most badass thing he's done in canon up until this was informing Vader that Luke is his son. That's it.
Yeah.
So he's never really been this badass character that everyone makes him to be, even in other sections of canon. And it's like, hey, I've never understood the personal obsession with Boba Fett people have. I know some people, granted, the Mandalorian.
I don't get it.
The Mandalorian Mercs, a group that I'm trying to get into right now.
Sweet title.
Based on an obsession with the Boba Fett. I don't have the obsession with Boba Fett, but I love the Mandalorian Creed and there's cooler stuff that has happened because of Boba Fett and not because of who.
Did you say the Mandalorian Mercs?
Yes.
What is that?
It's like the Rebel Legion, and the 501st is a costume group that does charity events and whatnot. So you can
I had a picture taken with the 501st, the one with me with my hands behind my back, with the hand behind my head.
So with the Mandalorian Mercs, it's all people who have made their own Mandalorian armor, and
sick. So
I showed the other day when we had Tom on it. My girlfriend got me my chest plate for my Mando that I'm working on. So yeah, that was my Christmas gift, but that's not the point. Anyways, but yeah, Boba Fett's never even.
No, I was gonna make a snide comment. Keep going. I stopped myself.
But no, Boba Fett has never really been that exciting in canon up until the Mandalorian season 2. Let's just be quite frank and honest here.
He's kind of I don't want to say a buffoon, but like even as far as recently, like I said, with the War of the Bounty Hunters, like him losing Han Solo, like he's taking Han's carbonite over to Jabba and he loses him. It's like how does that? How could that? Whatever. Okay, but I do get the appeal because he is a man of mystery to some extent. Like me and Matt, obviously we've read all this other stuff and we've seen in the Clone Wars, but like a lot of people just watching this like base Star Wars man will have this assumption that
just the movies and the Mandalorian, right? They just have the movies and the Mandalorian, and that's it. And I get that, and this is why I hate that people don't take the time even to just read Wikipedia, because there's certain misconceptions about characters, and it's like, oh, this character's a badass. It's like, he's really not. He just looks cool.
He's still a child. Like he's still that kid from Camino, and I think that's what he's trying to break away from, and that's the whole point of this show.
Yes, And it pains me that I love Tamora Morrison. It pains me that he's playing Boba Fett because we all know Boba Fett's only supposed to be like in his 30s right now, and he looks.
I mean, Tamora looks great, but he don't look about 30 odd.
Well, hold on.
Exactly.
But I mean, yeah, he doesn't look great. But at the same time, think about it. He was what, like maybe close to 10 years old during Attack of the Clones, and then Attack of the Clones
2 years before Revenge of the Sith, and then you jump 20,
like 35.
No.
It's like 30 years.
No, it's not a 30-year jump.
I think it's 18. It's 18 or 19.
It's 19 between
Sith
Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope.
Oh.
And it's
I was
only
told there'd be no math.
because I know Luke is supposed to be about
24 years between. It's 24 or 25 years between Revenge of the Sith and Return of the Jedi. So you add 2 years, 26. So he should only be about
40. Maybe he's 40.
He should be pushing 40.
Yeah,
all right, but also as you said, hey, people age differently. We have a 50-year-old baby in this series, in the like connected to this.
But
so
that's
people
an
age
alien
differently.
species, not a humanoid.
And also,
time,
like, remember,
time does go different on
half the time that Tamora's on screen, he's like, if you see his skin, it's like dried up as shit. Like
that's all. But here's that only occurred in Mandalorian. And
no, I get it. Once he actually got in the tank, it kind of clears him up a bit, because it definitely heals him up. But
well, back to resist.
Hey, look, when you're in the sun, it does age you. It does age you a lot. So does getting cast
30
years after your prime.
Okay, so he was born 32 years before Battle of Yavin.
Just look at
Tell
Ben
that to
Platt,
Ming-Na
dear Evan Hansen.
Yes, tell that to me. She is. I think we looked this up. Like she's almost 60.
Easy.
Yeah, she's nearly 60.
But she looks like she's 35. She looks like she's 35.
I mean, look at that Twi'lek. What is that? Jennifer Beals, Geoff?
Jennifer Beals, yeah.
Jennifer Beals.
She's the exact same age as Ming-Na Wen, and I was like,
no way, really?
Yeah.
No, look it.
Right.
Yeah. It must be all of that makeup also. And I don't know if you know this, but there are people in Hollywood that have procedures done.
Yes.
No. Yeah. Matt, let's talk about the nice little cameo that we got.
Black Christian?
Yeah, dude. Or BK, because I can never say his name right. Like,
yes.
When you had the two Hutts show up, and that was another thing I thought was kind of weird, because like we know they're very pick and choosy what they take from comics and books and stuff. I thought the Hutt Council was wiped out. So seeing these two cousins of Jabba, I was like, okay, there's still some around.
Yeah, and I love how they're like, oh no, now that Bib's dead, we're gonna claim it. Why didn't you claim it before? When
like 5 years ago. Like,
years.
where were you the last 5 years? Why'd you wait 5 years?
Probably because they know they could just walk in whenever they wanted with Bib.
To me, it seemed like they didn't care about Bib, because Bib was probably. It almost feels like, at least the way they acted, like he was basically just like a figurehead there, and they probably were like behind him, letting it happen. Like, okay, cool, you get to kind of have this spot, but now that it's someone who isn't someone who, because like, look, Bib Fortuna was someone who was under Hutt control anyways. So why not just assume that he probably was able to do that on behalf of the rest of the Hutts? So, I mean, now there's someone there that isn't under their control, who is pushing against. Bib Fortuna probably did stuff the way that the Hutts wanted, and in return, he got to live a lavish lifestyle. You can tell
they talk a lot about how
he gained some weight. He
looked like a Hutt.
There's a lot of emphasis, I think, on how things are done. You have the Major Domo, who's always talking about how things are done. You have the mayor, who's always talking about how things are done. You have the Twi'lek that runs the bar, who always talking about the way things are done. Garsa Fwip, yeah, she's talking about how things are always done, and then you have Boba coming in.
He's like, nah, I'm not doing it that way. He's like Tony Soprano. No, I'm doing this my way. Forget everything else. I'm doing this my way.
By the way, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know if you checked out the cast list stuff there for it, the mayor is voiced by Robert Rodriguez, isn't it?
Yeah, the Ithorian, is that the mayor?
Ithorian, yeah, that's the mayor.
Yeah, he's great. See, even when he's not,
I'll block you. I'll do it.
Even when he's not directing, like Robert Rodriguez is still getting his hands dirty and doing something.
Because
he loves just the whole process.
Robert Rodriguez can't help from doing like 8 different roles, like in terms of like production. Like,
can you imagine if he could actually clone himself? Like he does 8 by himself. Could you imagine if he cloned himself like once or twice? Like, that'd be crazy.
He'd be the entire set and crew.
He and Steven Soderbergh could just the two of them create a studio, and it would be just the two of them doing every role.
Mm-hmm. But I love that they've, for a split second, I thought we were going to see Cad Bane be the one to come out from behind the huts. I thought, oh fucking hell, are they gonna do it? Is it gonna be here? But then bringing out BK, I was like, oh shit, because. For anyone who don't know, that he's a Wookiee who was banished. I think he was banished from Kashyyyk.
Yes,
he was. He was a gladiator. He used to fight Trandoshans in a fight in pit. Like, this dude's a badass.
Paulina described him from the way she was looking at him, like someone like myself and her who are completely unaware of him. Like, oh my god, wait, they have a Chewie, like that sort of thing. Like the way she looked at him, like if you look at him, he is the wolf to Chewie's Star Fox. If you played, Star Fox games or Smash, he's Wolf, like down to like the way he looks and the color scheme and everything.
Jesse, you hit my next point. I love you, Jesse.
Oh, dude, that would be sick if Dr. Aphra shows up.
Yeah, I was just about to say that with this appearance, the big question is are we going to get Dr. Aphra in this series?
Yeah, a little, maybe in like post credits in the last episode, maybe. But because BK, he's worked for. He's been hired by Vader before.
Mm-hmm.
He's been hired by Jabba before.
I feel like having expectations of any specific characters to show up is just like a recipe for trouble.
Normally, I wouldn't, but it's because of this character's just attachment to Dr. Aphra is why I'm like. I don't expect it to happen, but I wouldn't be shocked now if it did.
Right. No, not shocked if anyone shows up, but it feels like they're not always just trying to have people show up because you recognize their names. He looks like a Wookiee dropped in a garbage disposal. And that's funny. That's how I feel. The Amazing Spider-Man looks like a Spider-Man movie dropped in a garbage disposal.
Hey!
Now that they've done the Luke thing, spoiler for something that was fucking ages
Spoiler
ago.
for over a year ago. Yeah.
I feel like all bets are off. Like, all the cards are on the table. Like, they can literally do anything. So
it just has to make sense. It can't just be like, oh, we heard about this person before.
Yeah, it can't just be for the sake of like just doing it for the sake of doing it. It's like, no, it has to make sense. And I think Aphra does make sense. And the fans have been asking for Dr. Aphra for a long time.
And who specifically have they been asking to be Dr. Aphra, Matty Gunner?
I don't know. You're gonna have to fill me on that one.
Chloe Bennett.
Really?
Yeah.
Chloe Bennett. She does have a relationship with Disney,
and she is of Asian descent, which is very important to this character.
I like it.
People. It was when it came to her. People always said they wanted her as Sabine or Dr. Aphra, and you've cast your Sabine now. So
we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah. By the way, him being in it is really cool, and the absence of the Rancor was great.
Dude, that was so great. I love that. They drop him in. He gets all scared. The gate just slowly rises, and the dude caves. The dude caves. Explains it.
Which is so funny considering
there's nothing there but like a little rat, like a little 2-inch rat.
It is funny, like considering, like, we watched the Rancor die, so of course there's no Rancor.
Well, no, I love.
But not everyone knows that. But not everyone knows that, which is fun. It's fun to see like what people actually know and don't know, because it makes you wonder. Like, did people just like not know about? Like, what did Bib Fortuna do when it came to like Rancor activities in the preceding 5 years?
That dude was too busy stuffing his face and having his freaking Lekus played with. Let's be honest.
So was Jabba, but he also found time to randomly throw.
Yeah, but there's a
people in the
difference.
pit.
Jabba was actually a heartless gangster. Bib was just a hanger-on.
All right.
Do you think that I forget what they call the order of the order of the Night Wind? Do you think they actually work for the mayor or?
No, I think they work for the Hutts that arrived. They've set it up to where it could be the mayor, it could be the Hutts, or it could be Garsa Fwip.
Or it could be Black Sun.
True, it could be Black Sun, but
Could be Pizza the Hut.
This motherfucker.
Thanks, Geoff. I've got a new nickname. Thank you.
It's not just like a joke. It's like, or I mean, it is a joke. It's like it's a character from Spaceballs.
Yes, we know.
He ate himself to death.
Yes, we know.
Oh, Geoff.
What'd you just say?
I called you by your name.
Oh, I thought you said Jeffel. I was like, what?
Jeffel.
Oh, Jeffel boy.
All right, so what are your expectations going forward here to next week?
Well, we haven't really touched on the flashbacks, bro.
Yeah, let's.
The first place that he got, I think I saw that was Tashi Station.
Tashi Station,
Yes.
Yep, with Fixer and Kami.
And not a single power converter was picked up.
Not a single one.
Nope. We did get Luke Skywalker's best friends. I thought that was quite a nice little touch.
Yes, those were those people in the bar who were getting into it with that.
The one dude that was getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And then Boba just walks in all battered to shit.
And beats the living hell out of all of them. God, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I did love the scene where he's training them how to ride the speeder bikes.
Yes. It's like this goes forward, this just
goes back. You ride. Because it's like if anyone's ever like ridden a motorbike, like the first time you get on one and you pull the throttle, like if you pull it too far, like you're going back on your ass.
Which is what happened with that first one.
Yeah. Dude, I thought that was hilarious. The one dude that kept trying to like jump on it and just like kept bailing. I thought that was brilliant. That was great. And I really enjoyed that whole. I think the stuff with the Tuskens is probably my favorite stuff out of this show.
Yes.
More so than the gangster stuff.
Yeah, between season 2, episode 1 of Mando, and then this is like the most exploration that we've had in live action. I can't speak to animated or comics or anything because I haven't experienced any of that. Exploring, relationships with the Tusken Raiders, or just how they act outside of just they're just indigenous people that people hate or whatever.
And that's honestly been one of my favorite parts about Disney Plus and their shows right now is we are getting to they're basically treating Tusken Raiders like indigenous people. Like, no, we're showing them their goddamn respect now.
That's exactly
what love it.
And it like the more we get into it, the more I realize how much of a dick Anakin was.
He really fucking was, wasn't he?
Oh, Anakin was a dick. What gave it away? Was it when he murdered children?
Nah,
no,
they didn't sell it for me.
To be fair, they did torture and probably much more graphic things to his mother.
The women didn't. The children didn't.
I know, but Matty, if you had been in that situation, found your mother like that, wouldn't you? Everyone in my way, I'm not leaving any survivors because I don't want anyone to come back from this.
That's fair.
And come at me.
Yeah. No,
meanwhile,
fair.
the children were just innocent children.
How many times in film have we seen would-be innocent little children have their parents murdered and be like, "I'm a child, I'm gonna spare your ass. You're a child, I'm gonna spare your ass." 15 years later, you dead, motherfucker.
It's literally going to be the setup for Kill Bill Volume 4 if Tarantino ends up making it.
3, you mean?
Or 3. I'm sorry, I'm miscounting for some reason. I was thinking 4 for whatever reason.
But that's my
Kill Volume
point.
3.
Like Anakin was like, you know what? Nah, we ain't having none of that. None of that.
But I like it because it also pisses off the people that are like, keep your politics out of Star Wars. It's like, guys, politics have been a part of Star Wars since the beginning.
Here's the thing. Everything. I mean, yeah, like Star Wars is literally just the Nazis, originally. But like, on top of all of that, this is something that William Bibiani has brought up before, and it's something that I've always agreed with too. You can never say keep your politics out of art. Just tell them, just make a movie, make an action. Here's the thing: every piece of art that's ever made is a reaction to something. There's a reason why it's being made, and it makes it inherently political. Everything about it is because of something. All right. When you talk, well, like Homecoming, all right, Spider-Man Homecoming, and there's the whole department that comes in to clean up and whatnot.
Yeah,
then you have a blue collar bad guy because his jobs are being taken away. Blah blah blah. Like that's like no one had a problem with that, and that's definitely political. Or literally everything was Civil War and the inciting reason why everyone's like against each other. That's pretty fucking political. Oh, I guess everything that had to do with when Black Panther took place in the U.S. and what they were exploring there, I guess that's definitely not political. And I'm citing all these because they're all Disney, or in Spider-Man's case, Disney franchise adjacent. And people are like these are things that obviously they're in the last 5 years or so, but they're good examples of giant budget things where people weren't complaining to the same degree. Star Wars people complain about that, and then they cite it because doesn't have to do with politics. It has to do with the fact that they don't like anything being focused on other than their normal people about it. They always were like, and as like, I mean, yeah, fucking Merc. Why don't you just continue to say how I'm a shill? Like, yeah, it's always been political. Everything about this has been political the whole time. It's literally taking down the evil empire. How many evil empires has the world had?
I live under
none
one.
of that political. Yeah, so do we. It's called capitalism.
It's called capitalism.
But what did you, speaking of the Fat and the Furious, what did you guys think of the big train robbery?
I thought it was great. It's better than the Solo one.
As I said, the sequence itself was good. I thought that the whole flashback went on too long, because I wanted it to be a little more well balanced of an episode. I didn't think it was. I didn't think that it was able to. I think that it was kind of like threatening to like fall under the weight of its own focus. But yeah, I think that the sequence itself though was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the one Tusken Raider that was able to get on there, and he just jumped into the window, and you just see him just like old boying his way down the hallway, and like then he just pops up out there, and it's just like, what? And he pops back down, and he just pulls them through.
So Ryan, to answer your question, my guess is he was in the Sarlacc for about a week, because just. You see how it's already.
We don't know. He was knocked out, so I don't think he was asleep for a week.
True, but
a day or two, maybe.
Yeah, week tops, day or two is more likely. So factor that in. We don't know how long. Once you factor in how long he is kept by the Tuskens, it's probably another 3 or so days. And then
at least a few days.
I'd say it's at this point it's probably been in the second episode a few weeks in the flat since we left him in that last flashback. So we're about a month in for him with the Tuskens is what I'd guess. Maybe 2 months considering how they're really engulfing him in their culture, and especially when we see by the end of the episode they have him make his gaffy stick. They give him those robes. That
I can't wait till we get to talk about that, because that was my favorite sequence of the entire fucking episode. I loved it. Like, especially like how they started, where he gives him the lizard. He's like, a gift for me, what? And they give him the lizard.
Like, no, you're about to trip balls, dude.
He's like, dude, you're essentially about to go on an ayahuasca trip. That was
You
like,
know what's funny?
What?
I didn't think that's what they were gonna do. I didn't expect that.
You didn't expect Disney to let you go on an acid trip?
No, I thought that he was gonna take it, or he was gonna have it, and when it went up his nose, I'm like, they're in the middle of talking, and he has to like sign, and then you don't know how well they're communicating. For whatever reason, I thought it was gonna be like the Babel fish from Hitchhiker's Guide, and it was gonna and then he was like trying to like say how it's like, you know, you'll be able to like whatever inside. I thought it was gonna be like a way to guide him. He'll be able to understand them better or something like that. No, it was like some people they get hot, they trip balls if they lick a toad. No, he fucking snorted one, dude.
So we got a Streamlabs,
and that dust, that
what?
Dust. And
we got a Streamlabs from Jackal Jesse, $1 for everyone on screen. Now you each have to remove an article of clothing. Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Jesse, you can kiss my black ass.
No, not happening. Maybe on Friday. Maybe when we do a Friday stream.
It costs $100 per article.
We've never confirmed we're doing one.
Yeah,
I
I know.
said I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't know how that. I was like, oh, we are. No. Another one of my favorite parts is after they take down the train and Boba's he's not interrogating them, but like he's talking to them. He's like, "You carrying spice?"
Oh, he's talking to the Pikes.
He's like,
Yes.
what's spice?
I saw that. I saw the freaking faces. I'm like, oh. Like it was. Granted, it's 3 a.m. my time. I couldn't sleep last night. I stayed up till 6 in the morning. I'm running on 3 hours of sleep right now. So me at 3 a.m. was just like, yo. Try not to wake up everyone in my house with how excited I am.
Yeah, go on,
did you say Pikes?
Yes, Pike. Pyke.
Is that the name of the alien?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the Syndicate.
They're crime syndicate.
Cool.
Yeah, Buck. Sorry, finish your point.
No. I was just saying. I thought that was he was trying to act like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
and
I love that he was like
one of the Raiders
spice.
literally drops it right there. That's what I'm talking about. So I thought it was great. It was like, you're living in their territory, so you should be paying them a fee for safe travel.
Yeah.
So I thought that was.
It makes sense. Yeah, I again, we're learning more about the Tuscans and their culture and their land, and that they were first. And like we even see that Tatooine was a planet covered in water before, like even when he's on his trip. And then one thing that I absolutely loved was how they tied it in again to the theme of identity. What does he see? He sees a tree, the tree representing his family, his father. Like the water could also be, he's getting away from Camino. Like he's coming out of the water. So is he like getting away from Camino?
Do you think he has any daddy issues?
Yes and no.
I mean, like the recreations of the scenes that they used were specifically him holding his severed dad's head, and then also him looking out the window as his dad flies away. Like these are flashbacks of his dad, in a sense, leaving him.
I mean, I could say yes. I could say no. It could go either way.
I'm saying that only because the amount of media that I've consumed this week that has that have like protagonists that have like deep-seated daddy issues or just
let me put you in touch with most of my ex-girlfriends, and we can definitely know that one. Huh?
You didn't even have to tell me that your girlfriends had daddy issues. I just assumed that was just like a trait that attracts them to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But then
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I ain't saying jack shit.
I mean, Geoff lived with me for a week, so he knows by now.
Matty, I heard about what was happening when I was getting picked up from the airport. Trust me, I know.
But one of the things that probably my favorite moment of the whole episode comes right at the end, and it was them doing the dance. around the fire, because that was definitely inspired by the haka. And if like no one's ever seen a haka done before,
that's amazing.
Watch Aquaman. Watch Aquaman. There's a haka and Aquaman.
Yeah,
or just look at the
Aquaman.
red carpet at Aquaman at the Aquaman premiere.
Yeah. But that shit will get you fired up so quick. I love watching
or
that.
even like Hobbs and Shaw. However you feel about the movie, that's another big budget mainstream movie that had a big old haka in it.
It kind of makes me think that the reason they're spending so much time that is a quote. Yep, that is a quote. The reason I think they're spending so much time with the Tuskens is I think we've seen now he's pissed off the mayor, he's pissed off the Hutts, he's pissed off the Pikes. I think there's going to be a union of all these syndicates, but I think it's going to be against Boba. And I think that's when we're going to see the Tuskens come in at the end and be the cavalry right at the end.
I would love to see Tuskens.
That would be pretty
up.
cool.
But at
and
the
then
same
just
time,
run them the fuck out of town.
Is he actually pissing off the mayor right now? That's what I'm curious
I think so. I think he's in the way, because if you notice how they talk to him, they're kind of like really dismissive of him. They're just like, yeah, okay, sure, Lord.
For a public figure, a public political figure such as the mayor, by the way, a political figure that might be corrupt. Oh, take your politics out of my Star Wars. But like, think about it. He just walked into a small office and then walked past someone and was immediately talking to the mayor. Like, their security there is awful. Like,
what security? There is no security.
That,
he could literally.
Yep. Thank you, Buck. Yeah, terrible security.
Fuck, you're special, buddy.
Who clipped that GIF?
I asked Wingblade to do it for me.
Wingblade, you fucking legend.
But
I think that's going to be, if talking about like what we're expecting going forward, I think that's going to be a big thing. I think the Tuskens are probably going to have a large part to tell at the end of the story. Maybe like they come in and they run everyone just the fuck out of town and take it back for themselves, and everyone's like, yay! One guy lives in life orb at the end of be peace.
I don't want to say mainstream, but a more prevalent, I guess, presence of the Tusken Raiders, at least in terms of their relation to like more. I don't want to say civilized, but like where more. I guess civilized is the word I would use then. Locations such as Mos Espa, rather than just the middle of the desert.
All right, Buck's gone. Now I can really have some fun. Let's go.
He's still here.
I knew he was still here. I was just.
That's all Matt does. That's all Matt does.
I could really get into it if you want.
No, not.
All right, Matty. So overall, what are your final thoughts on the episode?
I actually really enjoyed it. If we're rating it, if we're doing a rating out of 5, I would give it a solid 4. I think it was really, really great. As I said, people saying there's no character, there's no development to Boba Fett. I really question what show you're watching. I think a lot of people are just watching for the pew pew.
Yes.
And it's just like, guys, there's more to as fun as it is, and like Star Wars is for everyone. There's a lot more to it than just pew pew and flying around in space.
Yes.
Yeah. Matt, what are you reacting to while you're in the middle of a conversation stream?
No, I was reacting to Matty actually.
Oh, I wasn't sure because you were like you're looking just seemed like you were like reading.
No, I'm reacting to Matty. There was something I'm looking at on screen, but it's not reacting to it. It's to me. That was my general reaction to Matty. You're absolutely right. It's more than pew pew. Sorry. When Mandalorian and a show like this comes out, it revs up my desire to finish this armor. So I start to pricing and things get sent to me by my buddy Tyler, and he's just spamming me right now. And it's just like, hey, buddy, calm down. No, if I'm rating this, I'm giving it a 4.5. Like, this is, I was not expecting a 15-minute episode. This for the second episode.
Yeah, that was definitely shocking.
Yeah.
So to give me that length, make me wonder why I'm getting at in the episode, and then deliver on the length to where it doesn't even feel like that. It still only felt like 30 minutes. You're doing a hell of a job. Keep it up. I'm sold. I'm in. Let's keep rolling.
Yeah, it's gonna be, very fun. Like, I really enjoyed this. Like, I didn't realize it was 50 minutes until after I watched it, and then I went on Twitter and someone's like, "This was 52." I was like, "That was 52 minutes? Oh wow, didn't even realize it." Like,
plus their 5 minutes, plus your 5 minutes of credits. But
it's like 40 something minutes because there's like 7 minutes of credits as per all of these giant budget Disney Plus streaming shows.
Smaller font. So use a smaller font. You get more names on the screen.
It needs to be legible, Matty.
No, it doesn't. You just have to be there.
To me, though, to me, what I mentioned earlier, that's how I still feel about the show. It's 7 out of 10. That's the average I'm feeling too. I don't think it's incredible yet. I do find it intriguing. There's a lot of stuff that I find interesting that I want to see more of. I'm not a super locked into it yet, but I like it enough that I want to keep going with it. So yeah, that's it. Like I said, I had issues with some of the stuff from last week, and I had issues.
I want to know Paulina's rating because she's actually a Star Wars fan now.
So Paulina, this is potentially.
Hold on. Out of 10, how would you rate this episode? 6.
Wow.
She was bored. She got bored. I got a little bored with it too. I told you. I just enjoyed it a little bit more. What about last week's? 5.
So it's getting better.
Yeah. It's getting better. It's just, I'm not as locked in on it either as I wanted to be, and she isn't either. She's enjoying it a little bit less than me, but like it's not a wash. So
it's 2
episodes, and maybe we'll like it more as it goes on, and maybe once it's of a piece, we'll be able to appreciate it more. But I think that as it is at the moment, it is not as good as maybe it could have been, or maybe if this is as it could be, it's slightly underwhelming. But also, we are only 2 episodes in. We still got 5 more.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I do like how this could be series 1 of maybe 3 or 4 of Star Wars alone we get this year.
This is technically a 2021 series, sir.
Yeah, most of the series airs in 2022.
It don't matter.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
It was going to be me or Geoff. It was going to be me or Geoff.
Actually, what I'd say here is we got the first episode, but the vast majority are all 2022 episodes. It might have premiered 2021, but it's something that we're getting in 2022. You can't say that we're not getting it in 2022. Because he's talking about the stuff that we get in 2022.
I know.
If we only had the one episode
4,
and that was
maybe
it,
4, but I'm probably leaning towards 3 series.
What do you think we get next?
So,
we're Bad Batch season 2 is confirmed. Kenobi is confirmed for this year. Andor is confirmed for this year.
I didn't even think of Bad Batch and Andor. I was thinking.
I think Bad Batch would be next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bad Batch probably will be next because it does run for 16 or so weeks.
No, Jesse.
And Andor is 12 episodes, which means
Andor's 12. And they said
May 4th is a Wednesday, by the way.
Yeah. And we're supposed to get Mando season 3 this year also. Thank you for that reminder. So they are
making it. We'll see with the way things are going with certain stuff, whether or not they're able to keep it. Obviously, that's optimistic, but
don't
the way
you put that evil on us, Ricky Bobby.
We'll see.
Don't put that evil out there, Ricky Bobby.
I think Mando is almost done filming, actually.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, that's why I put it in a maybe, because it hasn't been confirmed. It's anticipated, but it's not confirmed for it.
They keep saying December 2022. Yeah, you're damn right, Matty. You're damn right.
But they said
no. Buck.
They said December 2021 for Book of Boba Fett, and they were only able to promise that they could get out the premiere in time for the end of the year.
To be fair, originally they said Christmas 2021. So 4 days after Christmas isn't bad.
I just watched the end of it and it said December 2021.
Yeah, but going into the beginning of 2021, they talked about it was probably going to come out around Christmas, not. And granted, that was back when Disney Plus was on Friday releases.
We are going to argue semantics of between a couple days, or we could wrap up. Also, by the way,
Brian.
There. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Also, this guy got one too. So congrats.
I just want to say the three of us should have had two. So.
Oh no, we're not.
No. That was always a joke. But next year we'll know to submit spin or Schmoe Me the real under podcast of the year.
And I just want everyone to know that if one of these guys don't win, you have me to deal with. So you better vote for these guys.
We're not going to win. We're not going to win. We're not the most popular, most well liked. We just enjoy doing dumb shit.
Yep.
Did you see my Twitter thread? I talked about how thank you for letting us do dumb shit.
Dumb shit. It's true.
That was it.
That's why our Friday stream should be nominated, because it's Schmoedown and dumb shit. Our two separate shows alone are normally just Schmoedown with a little bit of dumb shit sprinkled in. But you get that Schmoe Me the real going, and that's 50-50 dumb shit and Schmoedown in its own separate thing.
It is positively the worst show in the community.
But everyone loves it.
And
we're the worst show in the community, but somehow.
They put a lot of work into it. Buck and I don't.
No, we don't. I was like, wait, people prep for shows?
We used to put a fair bit of prep into the stuff we did until the panels got exhausting. Maybe we'll make it back. But that's not about here right now. We're finishing up talking about this. Look, even if I sound lukewarm, I'm still enjoying it. When I talk about it, I don't seem as much. It's more like, sure, I'm gonna keep watching. I like it. I like it enough. I don't hate it or anything. So yeah, I keep going, and that's this for William Harold there in the chat mentioning Joe Rogan. So that's it. Anything that you guys want to plug real quick before we wrap up here, or after wrapping up?
You can check me out over on Watt Real Entertainment. We got reviews coming up. First review of 2022 is actually going to be, let me double check this date real quick because I want to make sure I have it right when this embargo drops. First review of 2022 will officially be Wednesday the 12th at 3 a.m. Eastern time, and that will be my review for Scream. So be sure to check that out. I'm really excited. That's the first movie I get to review in 2022. But other than that, you can check me on the other Schmoedown nominated podcast, Spin from the Real. Going to be doing Real Talk again. It's not going to be on a set day. Those are probably going to switch to either being pre-recorded then dropped, and just me and Nick or me and a guest talking about what we want to talk about in the movie sphere. And all the other great stuff we got going on whether it's Real Sports, which is about to undergo its own little change. Really Scared, hoping Russell Real comes back soon, maybe Real Geek Core. But Saber Reels, our Star Wars show, will either be going live at like 10 p.m. tonight or sometime tomorrow. So we'll see.
10 p.m. Eastern, just to clarify.
10 p.m.
Yes. Every time Matt talks about timing, it's on Eastern.
For the thousands of people watching right now, I just wanted to clarify. And Matty Gunner, what's going on over with Sons of Azrael and whatnot?
So yeah, you can find my band, Shadow of Azrael. If you
Shadow, I mixed it up. I'm thinking SOA, Sons of Anarchy,
Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
Yep, you can just look for us there on Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. If you live in the southwest of England, you can come watch us live on February 12th at the Alton Live Lounge. We're looking at a way to stream it for other people to watch, so it'll be super fun. Can't wait to do that and blow my voice out, which would be a good time. And from this Monday, Scoundrels of the Force will be back, but under a new kind of revamping. We're now just going to be a general movie talk show over on PLD Projects YouTube channel. I know you guys are a big fan, PLD on this channel. So
I love PLD, and I am not paid to say that at all.
So yeah, check us out Monday, 8 p.m. my time, whatever that is for you guys. And
I believe that's 4 Eastern.
That is,
I believe
they're 5 hours out if I remember correctly, so that would be 3 Eastern.
Oh no, that's right, because he's 7
Eastern,
hours ahead of me.
12 Pacific, I think. And
Yep.
Monday, I think we're going to be talking about what movies we're looking forward to this year. And yeah.
Very cool. And then us, we got whatever the hell we end up doing. We'll be back eventually.
Also, shout out to Sam Witwer for being the alien who was being a narc last week.
Wait.
I saw
I don't know if you guys can see this. Signed by the man himself.
Nice.
Sam.
We got our stuff here. We'll get back to our Tuesday show stuff soon. We'll probably do an awards breakdown at some point, when we get the energy to do so. Maybe we'll just incorporate that into a Schmoe the Real Hangout thing. Who knows? Other than that, I'm hoping to wrap up like a couple movies from 2021 that I wanted to catch, and then I was thinking of
have
doing
Geoff over
best
on
of the
Watt
year.
Entertainment for best of the year.
Are you inviting me?
Yeah, that was actually something I was going to hit you up about.
Oh, well, all right, cool. Sure, absolutely. Anyways, I was thinking about doing one here as well. I feel like I watch so many fucking new movies. Maybe I should do a review once in a while or something. So we'll see. I'm also lazy, so who knows? Like, I can't believe you fucking idiots voted for us. What is wrong with you? Oh my god.
Insulting our